For the past 6 years of my life, I've struggled with many different anxieties. But out of all of them, there is one that has really screwed me over more than any others. ARFID, which stands for Avoidant Restrictive Food Intake Disorder. It by itself is hard to say. And the symptoms can vary from person to person, but for me, my main symptoms were absolute crippling fear of throwing up. I am scared to try new food. I don't like to go out and eat in places that are uncomfortable for me. And I'm also scared to eat too much food because I am worried that I will end up fat. Now, if this sounds like you need to stick around and watch the rest of this video because I'm going to be sharing with you how I struggled with this for the past 5-6 years of my life, as well as how I learned to overcome it. Alright, so let's go back in time to about 2 years ago when the COVID pandemic was ending. And this was also kind of at the worst time of my anxieties. And throughout most of the pandemic, I barely weighed 100 pounds. I remember actually I was terrified to weigh more than 100 pounds because for some reason I thought once you get above 100-pound weight, you become fat. And it absolutely terrified me. I definitely had some sort of body dysmorphia to the extreme. And I remember sometimes I was so low on energy, so weak that my parents literally told me, "Look, Jonathan, you have to eat, otherwise we're going to take you to the hospital because we have to put a feeding tube in you. This is not healthy." I was offered money to eat food, but that never worked. And I never really ate food except when I felt like it. And even then, I only ate just a little bit. My stomach was just so accustomed to not eating. And this was my life for 3 to 4 years. But once the pandemic ended, I had a little realization that I can't keep living my life like this. I feel miserable. I'm on the verge of going to the hospital because I have no food in me. I need to make a change. And this is the first piece of advice I would give to you. It is realizing your situation. So take a minute and think about your ARFID or another anxiety you have that is ruining your life. And then think, if you started right now, today, to try to get rid of this, how much better would your life be in 6 months? Think about it for a second. Now, unfortunately, it's not just that simple. There's 5 more steps that I'm going to share with you that are key to overcoming your anxiety and ARFID. That's why number 2 is you have to fully commit to overcoming your anxiety or ARFID. So about 2 years ago, when the COVID pandemic kind of came to an end, like I already mentioned, this is where I first started to try and overcome my anxieties. And guess what? I started eating a bit more. I had a bit more energy, but that's it. I just mildly improved my situation. I did not fully commit to making it truly better. I just felt like I didn't want to push myself out of my comfort zone, but that's the problem right there. If you're never going to push yourself outside your comfort zone, how are you supposed to improve? And maybe you can relate. Maybe you're just scared to push yourself out of your comfort zone and truly improve your situation and overcome your anxieties. So listen up. This next step is for you. Number 3, go to the gym. And I know what you may be thinking. Jonathan, I don't have time for that. I don't want to go to the gym. I feel pretty healthy. Listen, that was me. I thought there was absolutely no reason to go to the gym. I wasn't fat. I had a bit of energy, and I just thought there was no need for that extra misery and pain from lifting weights. Well, let me tell you, the gym has completely changed my life. Not just physically, but also mentally. And you don't have to take my word for it. There is so much research out there proving that working out reduces stress, improves your overall mood, and enhances your cognitive function. Mayo Clinic, Harvard, and many others have done countless studies about this. If you're interested, go look into it. It's some interesting stuff. Number 4, it takes time. You need to understand that it takes time to overcome your anxieties and fears. It's not something that's gonna magically happen overnight. For me, I would say it took about 6-ish months from when I first started to truly overcome my anxieties to get to a state where I mostly had them in control and they weren't ruining my life. And this could be different for each of you watching. Some of you, it may take less time. Some of you, it may take a year or more. You need to understand that improvement isn't an overnight thing. It will take time. Number 5, you need to really want it. Alright, so I got a question for you. There's 2 athletes, and one of them is naturally gifted, but he doesn't practice much and he doesn't really care about performing well. While number 2 is not naturally gifted, but guess what? They show up to every practice, they're always putting in the work, and they really want to become a pro athlete. Now, out of those 2, which one do you think is actually going to make it and become a pro athlete? Probably number 2, right? Because they're actually putting in the work and they actually want it. And it's the same thing when you're in anxieties. You have to actually put in the work and actually want it. I remember back when COVID ended and I wanted to improve my life for the first time, but I just made small improvements and I didn't want to fully change my life. I thought if I could just, eat a little bit more food, that's fine. But since then, I've realized that that is just not a good mental place to be in. You have to fully overcome it. It's insane how much it'll change your life. Trust me. And about 8 or 9 months ago, when I truly started to try and overcome my anxieties, yes, it was hard. Yes, there was a lot of blood, sweat, and tears, so to speak, but I got through it, and my life is a million times better than it was 9 months ago. Finally, number 6, and probably the most important, at least for my journey, is controlling your thoughts. And I'm not talking about some voodoo mind magical crap. I'm talking about telling yourself when you get these anxious thoughts, okay, I know I'm scared about this thing, but I don't have to be. Or in other words, you need to have control over your own thoughts and not the other way around. Your thoughts may be loud, they may seem very, very real, but they don't decide what you do. That's up to only you. One time, a few years ago, my dad offered me $100 to eat something from Taco Bell. And I really wanted that money. So I told myself, come on, Jonathan, you got this. It's just one bite of food and you get $100. But guess what? All these thoughts just started rushing into my mind about how this is gonna make you throw up if you eat it. You can't eat anything from Taco Bell, you threw up from there before. Oh no, Jonathan, you're gonna get sick if you eat it. You can't eat that, it doesn't taste good. And guess what? Those thoughts just overpowered me and I listened to them, and because of that I missed out on the freest $100 of my life. So next time you feel like your thoughts may be controlling you, just take a minute and think about it. You don't have to let them control who you are or what you do. That's up to you. If you've made it to the end of the video, thank you. I truly appreciate each one of you. And if you have any comments, drop one down below. I'll be sure to reply to each one. Thank you and have a good rest of the day.